Hello, long time no see. This is going to be the wrong way around. Hello, long time no see. This is a haul, general pickups for the past couple of months. I think this is everything that I've picked up maybe over the last 3 months. I'm also going to try and get a live stream out this weekend as well. No, maybe not this weekend. I did want to do it by the end of May, so it'd probably be midweek, maybe on the Queen's Jubilee. Anyway, that's enough for updates. I did post an update blog on the community section tab for anyone who was interested. I've also hit 3,000 subscribers, kind of out of nowhere. Not a really convenient time considering I'm not regularly posting, but thank you nonetheless. Many of whom will probably be inactive from when I was regular posting before. Anyway, you don't want to know all of that. I've got a decent stack of things. I'll get the sort of more commonly known titles out of the way first. So starting off with something that just arrived about an hour ago. That's Vinland Saga, book 12. So this collects volumes 23 and 24 of the original sort of singles. These are 2-in-1s. Really happy that Kodansha are sort of continuing to put these out. So a really good point in the story. I haven't read this yet, obviously, because it's just arrived, but see, it's got Sigmund and Halfdan on the cover there. I really like them characters and his little sort of minions who call him Siggy. It's like, don't call me Siggy. It's pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to reading this. I might read volumes 10 and 11 just to kind of get myself up to speed with where it was at. I've got a vague idea of where it was at up to the story. I think Thorfinn had just had a fight with Garm, the pole arm guy. But I don't really remember exactly what was going on there. So I'm going to read the previous 2 volumes just to kind of get up to speed with that. But yeah, Vinland Saga book 12. I think this catches us up with the Japanese releases. So now Makoto Yukimura, I know he's sort of, I follow him on Twitter and he's regularly posting and he's sort of working on this series at full steam. So probably not going to see another one of these for a while. I'm not sure how many volumes it is up in Japan, but I'm pretty sure at the time that this came out, it was up to date, sort of got up to date with the Japanese releases. Anyway, there we go. For some reason, there's reviews here from IGN, praise for the manga and anime. So the anime definitely has played a part in the popularity of this. A classic anime in the making, and epic in every sense of the word. And this is the manga. I'm not really sure how the anime compares. Anyway, picked up the next 2 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist, the perfect editions that I need. Volume 13 and 14 with Olivier, Mira Armstrong, and Greed on the covers. Yan Ling. Beautiful covers, as always. Look forward to rereading Full Metal Alchemist. I've read it about 2 or 3 times already when I had the singles, but got rid of them to double dip on these. So yeah, there we go. Next, I got book 5 of Blade of the Immortal, so we're halfway there with these releases. I believe that there's going to be 10 in total, and the next one is going to be a 4-in-1, because there is 31 volumes of the singles, and I did have the singles, but had to sell them because I wanted to get these. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, I believe this covers the fight with Shira, so this must go up to volume 15, and that fight is just unbelievably amazing. I absolutely loved that part of the series. So, and I'm really looking forward to rereading Blade of the Immortal, because I've only ever read it through once, and a lot of the sort of minor details escape me. There's a lot of the series that I don't remember, and that's great, because when I reread it again, it'll feel new again. So I love when that happens. When I love a series so much, but enough years go by that I just kind of forget like all about it. and then rediscover it. So hopefully that'll be how I feel about Blade of the Immortal once I reread it through again. I also picked up the 2 volumes, 9 and 10 of Berserk, the deluxe editions. As always, these remain beautiful releases. This obviously goes up to volume 30, so I mean, where does that leave us? Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So the Bakiraka are attacking the Kushan Empire, are attacking Midland with their weird goblin troll things. I won't give you any more because I don't want to spoil anything. So, yeah, volume 10, 9 and 10 of Berserk. Volume 11, I think, comes out a little later this summer. So I'm really glad to be caught up on them. And I believe, unfortunately, there's only going to be about 13 or 14 of these volumes. You know, obviously, we don't know what's going on with Berserk other than Studio Kara, is it? Kentaro Miura's studio. There's been no word of their intention as to whether or not to continue the series, and it's not looking likely. I think they're just going to, you know, let it die, which is a shame. Okay, now moving on to some of the lesser known, more obscure titles, things that you don't really see commonly in other people's hauls or collections. I'll start with something that's independent but also has had a lot of traction to the more avid collectors. Something I picked up recently, and that's Heaven's Door by Keiichi Koike. Now, this is by Last Gasp. And the only other thing I own by them is The Strange Tale of Panorama Island. I don't think I have anything else by them. I think I may have 1 or 2 others, but I can't think off the top of my head. People I've seen who've picked this up have misattributed the author to the same creator as Lone Wolf and Cub. Keiichi Koike is not that person. It's Kazuo Koike is the guy who wrote Lone Wolf and Cub. I think he's passed away now. I think he's, or it might have been Goseki Kojima. I think Goseki Kojima passed away. I don't know about. Anyway, this is a nice sort of cool indie manga. I don't have anything else by this author, so I'm not really sure what to expect. But from a very brief flick through, I mean, it looks very sort of late 80s, early 90s, very Satoshi Kon, Katsuhiro Otomo-esque, with sort of like designs of the characters and like the penmanship and like the ink work and stuff. Looks really weird and just bizarre, fever dreamish. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah, looking forward to reading this as and when. Okay, moving on. I picked up the remaining volumes that I needed of Barefoot Again. So, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, and 9 and 10. So that's Barefoot Again completed in the hardcovers. Really happy to own these, as I didn't really want to get the singles. I mean, anytime. Oh, this is also by Last Gasp, same publisher as Heaven's Door, so that's pretty cool. I knew I had something else, and here it is, right here in the haul. So I now have all of Barefoot Again. I'm looking forward to read. Well, I say looking forward to reading it. It's not going to be a fun read, as it's autobiographical tale of the main character's survival during the atomic bombings in Japan at the end of World War II. So yeah, it's going to be a harrowing read, but I think it's something that's sort of recommended to be taught in schools. Like these books you sort of commonly hear being induced into like school libraries and things like that. So it's essential reading, as far as I've heard, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, next. Oh, I've not really got that much left to show you, so it's probably going to be a shorter one. I've got 2 more Osamu Tezuka manga, some of the things that have been syndicated on on Amazon from Digital Manga Publishing, and that's The Creator and The Thief, Inoue Akikazu, and Other Stories. So this one's a really big, chunky one, and I believe it's a series of short stories. I'm not sure what sort of era or period of time it covers, but usually there's like a little blurb excerpt in the back that tells you when they were published. So let's have there's like a nice essay in the back here, or an afterward perhaps, and afterward by Tezuka as well. Oh, here we go. So these seem to have been published all really within a year. Wow, Tezuka really worked fast. So all published between 1969, November 19th, 1969, and April 1st, 1970. I mean, that's just a period of months. And one of the stories published in January 1974. So that gives you an indication as to what this guy's output was to be able to write something this thick in a matter of months. And then the thief Inoue Akikazu is a shorter one. I really like these sort of short story collections. That Digital Manga Publishing have been putting out for the last couple of years. A lot of these were funded and they were exclusive to Kickstarter. I never supported any of the Kickstarters. I don't like the idea of doing that. Like anytime I order something, I like it to be readily available, and heard that some people had to wait years for some of these for some of the things to arrive. I mean, things like these were only achievable via stretch goals, so they were like add-ons to already existing Kickstarter projects. So I would never imagine that I would have been able to own these, and I think perhaps Digital Manga Publishing, I mean, obviously I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but they must have realised the error of making things exclusive to their own online store, e-manga. Akadot, I mean, I never used it. The shipping was just extortionate. So even though a lot of the manga from them were readily available, like, stateside, you couldn't really get them outside of the States without, forking out, potentially hundreds of pounds just for the shipping. So, yeah, I'm really glad to own these, and I'm glad they're being syndicated on like Amazon and eBay and other stores. It's about bloody time. Okay, a couple more things to show you. These are Gekiga sort of things, Gekiga independent sort of old outprint stuff. Finally managed to get my hands on Volume 8 of Old Boy by Garan Tsuchiya and Nobuaki Minagishi. I won't sort of show you the blurb on the back because the blurb gives you a big spoiler, which is stupid. I enjoyed Old Boy. The ending was very anticlimactic. I would say just watch the movie. The movie's much better. Much better adaptation. I mean, if this is of course the original, but the movie goes in a completely different direction, and it's more gritty. But for the grittiness of it, I mean, I'll try to show you a non-spoilery page. Like it does really capture that sort of era of time. When manga was like, I mean, it's very Urasawa-esque. It's very Naoki Urasawa-esque in its presentation. So, yeah, Old Boy. I also picked up some things from Gen manga, Alive by Taguchi Hajime. This has been on my wish list for ages. It's a lot smaller than I thought. Gen Publishing, unfortunately, is no longer in business, but you can sort of pick up some of their, old manga that were published, back when they were, still around. I mean, I think these may be around from, I think 2014-ish, maybe earlier. I can't see exactly when, but yeah, 2014, and it was probably around that time that they went out of business, which is a real shame because, I mean, they were publishing directly from the Tokyo or Japanese underground, so they're all independent authors. So the very first thing I read by them, Carmen, just really, really interesting, really intriguing. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And I also picked up Sorako by Fujimura Takayuki. This is again another publication from Gen manga, a shorter one. It's like Sarako lives an ordinary life, and this is an ordinary story. She has friends and family, loves her dog, thinks about life, and occasionally looks for work, kinda. These are the adventures into a typical girl's life. So it seems like a slice of life sort of thing. Um, Sort of, okay artwork. The sort of quality of this book is a little bit better than Alive. But yeah, I'm trying to pick up as many of these older sort of Gen titles as I can, as I did neglect them for quite some time. I mean, this one from 2013. There's one that I really want called Animal, but that's out of print. I mean, they're all out of print technically, but there are no more copies of Animal available, which is a real shame. But there's a couple more. There's about 2 or 3 more that are available on my wish list that I'm going to try and pick up over the next month or so. 2 more things. Picked up Outdoors by Yuichi Yokoyama. This is from Breakdown Press. Really strange author. He's just very different. But Breakdown Press always have beautiful releases, and any of the releases from Yuichi Yokoyama that have been put out in English, whether by Picture Box or Breakdown Press or otherwise, have always been super high quality releases. But this isn't sort of manga for anyone. As you can see, it's all sort of geometric shapes and landscapes, and not really much context as to what's going on. I mean, this one I think is entirely wordless. It's just got sound effects. His other ones do have some sort of dialogue and narrative, but no real clear indication as to what the story is. It's all just sort of just expression. What the author just wants to portray. It seems that the running sort of motif of his, I guess you could say, quote unquote stories, are that unusual sort of characters with weird faces are transplanted into a world, and they just sort of comment on the weird stuff that they see. They just walk around commenting on the stuff that they see, and then the story ends. There's no real sort of, there's no real context to it, which I really like, and I like the sort of, weird angular sort of artwork. But yeah, Outdoors. I'm trying to get my hands on more of Yuichi Yokoyama's title, but the Picture Box ones particularly are just very, very difficult to come by. Okay, and finally, this was something I picked up on eBay for a really good price, really good steal, and it's part of the Viz Spectrum editions, same that published like 2001 Nights and Two Faces of Tomorrow and a couple of others, but this is by the same author, Yukinobu Hoshino, and this is Saber Tiger. So it's 2 stories in this, I believe. It's quite a thin book. It's basically got Saber Tiger and The Planet of the Unicorn. Now I think this might have been a library copy, because it's got this sort of like really nice plastic cover on it. So even though it may be a library copy, it's been kept in really good condition, considering that this is probably about 30 years old. I mean, this was published in May 1991. So yeah. The page quality is pretty naff. It's pretty crap, as you can see. But I'm glad that I own it, just for, I guess, the historical value of it, like just as a collector's item. Sort of a mixture between prehistoric times and sort of sci-fi elements. Yeah, that's the last thing that I have to show you, I think. Yes. Oh, I also got, this is non-manga related, but I'm currently reading 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson. Very polarizing guy. You either love him or you hate him. I like it. It's pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's been my haul for, I guess, maybe from March up until now. I'm not sure when the next haul will be, but certainly there'll be a live stream sort of going over what I've read over the past couple of months, which has been very little. I've not been reading that much manga, admittedly, but hope you enjoyed anyway, and I'll see you for the next one.